Good morning, Stampede Elite family. This is Coach Taylor coming to you with your community news update. I love the way that sounds. It's almost like this is a news station, which is how I kind of see it. This is going to be our location where I can upload video content and update you on things all Stampede Elite. Okay, so let's get started. Thank God we made it through 2021. I think we all should take a big sigh of relief. I am so grateful to have not contracted COVID. I pray for any families that have lost loved ones to COVID or have contracted themselves. It's something that you can never imagine happening, but it is here and it has changed our lives forever. I also think the good out of it was that it helped us to be able to be creative, creating Stampede Elite, where we're collaborating our community with our high school team and collaborating it all the way down into the youth. How phenomenal is that? I do remember being a young kid, and when you're young, you look up to those high school players or NFL players or people who have done it and retired and come back to give to you. And that's what I think Stampede Elite really models, right? So with that being said, you're going to get a bunch of different updates through this email. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. You can call me at 619-745-3230. You can also email me at coachgregtaylor@gmail.com. So with that being said, our sports were taken away. We wanted to get creative. We wanted to get our kids off the couch. We wanted to get our kids back active. Hence, we created Stampede Elite. Myself and Coach Sovokol thought, hey, what better of a time to get into this realm of coaching your kids up from a very young age, bringing them to a point where they can get to high school already knowing the high school language, the models, the tradition. Thought was something that would be phenomenal. And then mix in a lot of love. I think you have a great community. So with that being said, I'm going to go into a few updates. One of the biggest things that I wanted to talk about was in our challenging year, starting in November, is when we started this thing officially, where there was money being exchanged. We had 47 registered athletes, which I think is phenomenal during a COVID year. There were a lot of 7th or 8th graders. Our 6th and 5th, we did not have as many, and we'll talk about them a little bit later. But the update was 47 registered athletes. I think that's phenomenal. We still have our registration open. We're going to continue to leave it open as we don't know really at this point in time, as of January 2nd, what will really happen with CIF and football. So it could drastically change how we need to come up with the next move for us. So ultimately, this is just the communication in regards to letting you know how these communications will happen. As the district and CIF lets the high school know, they then trickle down and let us know, and then we all try to put our heads together and come up with what's going to be best to serve our community and our kids. If you have not paid, because I think there are some who still have not paid, there's no problem. You just need to go into Venmo and pay at Stampede Elite, all one word, no hyphens or spaces, Stampede Elite. And you can pay there. If you have any questions or want to know what you owe or can I send you or email you over the actual spelling of it, please feel free to reach out. No problem. I'm even working to learn how to send an invoice to just remind you, maybe through your email. So take a look in there. That's pretty important. We want to make sure that we can get you guys is all registered through the AAU, which helps us to also obtain other insurances and keep our kids protected a little bit more. So I'm grateful for that. Very thankful for all of you believing in the program. We also have attained some sponsorships, which I think is really phenomenal in this short amount of time, and I want to give some homage to them and say thank you to Off Solar, who has been a big integral part in running this program and being able to give its dollars to see us have great success and sustainability. Aaron Roth's Real Estate Appraisal and Aaron Roth's Accelerated Appraisal. Dovetail Marketing. Want to thank Dovetail Marketing. Big help. and Northlink Surfaces. As you can see, Northlink has gave me a hat and is going to be working with us on our gear, and we're going to be help sponsoring there. So if you can, please reach out to those people. Tell them thank you if you can, if you see them in the community. We're very grateful for your sponsorship. If you are interested in helping out as a coach, giving money, or using whatever your skill or gift that God has given you to help our program with this sustainability, we really would appreciate it. Bookkeeping, practice sign-ins, helping with some of the COVID setup when we go to practices, any of those things. We really appreciate anyone who's open to community service and helping. We're grateful, and we're grateful to all those sponsors as well. So what did we do? What did we expose our kids to? We didn't just bring our kids and put them out at a practice field and throw the ball around. What we did is we exposed our kids to over 3 or 4 Super Bowl champions, someone who played football, been in their shoes, went to college, went to the NFL, and won the biggest and highest trophy or achievement that you can make. I thought that was phenomenal. We brought college signees, kids who had been in high school, maybe had to take a detour to junior college and was in the position to sign and had been ranked. I thought that was phenomenal to expose our kids to multiple different levels of kids, people, individuals. We brought professional former baseball players and coaches. We've had even a USA national high school champion for U19. Isn't that great, right? Play 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th and 12th grade, and then the United States national team calls you and asks you to come represent your country. I thought that was phenomenal. And then we had a bunch of different college Hall of Famers that have come out, who've played at their colleges and done a great job in the community and at their colleges and have been named to the Hall of Fame. And so ultimately, I felt that we really exposed our kids to winners. We exposed our people that learned how to persevere, how to overcome all of the odds, whether good or bad. Not everyone had the same journey. And that's something that I like to preach to the kids, is that we don't come from the same journey. Everyone has a different route, so everyone may connect with someone differently. But I thought that was great for the little shorter time that we've had. And we look to continue to bring support and people who believe in giving back to its community. So that was for our community news. So what's next? And this is what I wanted to really talk about. What's next? We don't know exactly what will be next because COVID is still ramping through us. We have a vaccine. We also are hearing that in Southern California, there's another strand of this COVID that is spreading that we have to just be very careful of. And I'm always cognizant of putting the kids first, not what's going to be best for me or what's going to be best for the parents, but the safety of everyone is something that we all have agreed to be able to put above our own personal needs. So as you see, we've taken a really long break from, 2 weeks before Christmas and probably 2 more weeks until the end of mid to end of January. A lot of that is for the safety of our kids. We would love to kick in an extra week or so. But right now, with things the way they are, we really wanted to take the approach to step back, to let the kids get a breath, breathe, almost like they would in July. When they ent Stampede Elite, they would go in from July to August and be off, or they would go in and do their running and little things to keep up maintenance, but stay out of the coach's ways and get a chance to breathe. So that's something that I did want to talk about or address because it had been brought up to me. So our remaining schedule, the next day that we will be out as of today, January 2nd, we will be on the field at ECP, where we've always practiced, on the 20th, which is a Wednesday. And we will have the 23rd and 24th over at the Gas Bars facility. You also will then come back and go back Monday and Wednesday at ECP. And then we will have the 30th and the 31st. And that will end our period of where we called our COVID relief period, where we paid one fee and used all of the practices that we could to get to this particular point. And then we'll get into February. Now, when we get into February, that will change, because there's some things that are going to change. We have other things in this program that we wanted to develop to, but we knew in the meantime, until we knew what would open up, how will open up, how CIF will move for our youth sports, we wanted to just keep our kids working and active, even though we were adding value and benefit. We're still getting gear. We're still working on our gear. Due to COVID, there has been like a longer pushback time, 4 to 6 weeks, where we could be 2 weeks from times before. So we ask that you be patient with us there. Registration helps with that as well. We have people registering at many and different times. Some have registered, maybe not paid. So, this community newsletter talks about, hey, let's get those registrations in. We're going to get those uniforms and jerseys. That's something that we definitely will want to do. We just do not want to have kids come out there and we are all looking uniform, and then they may have registered in a week ago and then their uniform is pushed back. But that may be a reality of what we need to do. So I wanted to just touch on that with gear. The new schedule from February to July is what in a normal world, right? No COVID. We are now going to be looking at continuing football after regular tackle football is over. So we would get our break from Christmas, January, get into the mid-January, and we would start to practice again. We would start to redevelop our skills and take the game and slow it down and teach a little bit more. So I wanted to talk about what that would look like. At this point, in a perfect world, we are working to get to the high school. La Costa Canyon, ourselves, would like to have our kids practicing, watching film, lifting weights, or doing strength and conditioning, because there's a difference between lifting weights and doing strength and conditioning, all at La Costa Canyon. In the meantime, right now, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So we're talking about being very creative, holding workouts at a beach, holding workouts still at the park, maybe holding workouts with rugby. Rugby is, engaged in taking on some of the training that I offer, but in exchange for that, rugby is saying, hey, maybe we can offer you Tuesday and Thursday nights from 7 to 8:30 where there's lights and we're done with our practice field, and then we can practice. So those things are still up in the air. They're not finalized. We're working on those, and we'll know more as the weeks keep progressing. And so these announcements will come through some form of a video. So what should you look forward to? We will keep you informed. But the main thing is just know that we will try to stay ahead of this and be prepared to maybe have to change a location due to COVID, or to change a location due to the field being used. So, because there are other sports. So, those are just some of the things that I wanted to talk about on that. The type of practices. So, what you have been used to is 2 practices a week. And what will happen now is there will be a form of a practice, and then there will be a form of on the second day. So there will be one practice always. The second day will be used to watch the practice previously or study film that has been sent down to us, and then also to add in life skills. So that takes us off the field, maybe into a location like Tower 13 over there off the 101. They've been gracious to sponsor Stampede Elite and allow us to use their patio area. But again, that all is providing that COVID will allow them to be open. So we will continue to keep you updated on that. But at this time, expect to have one practice, to have another practice that will be to watch some form of film, to learn how to watch film, right? To learn what you're looking at, to have maybe even professionals come into that film meeting and show you how they're taught to watch it. And then turn around and do some life skill work. Parents, if you don't know what life skills are, we're looking to affirm your kids and learn about words of affirmation and how their subconscious believes everything that they say out of their mouth, and how they get angry, and how to have an anger management plan, how to take a time out, how to say that I'm not okay, how to handle bullies. Those are things in the life skill portion that we believe adding into our community and into this program will add value. What that will look like will be a setting where you can come in. There could be food in an area where you get a set type of meal, course meal. You go in, you're eating your food, you're watching film, you're getting maybe called answers on. Then after that goes through and you learn a little about the film session, then it may be clear out the food in the area, everybody kind of spread out, and we start to talk about some very serious things about what we're experiencing in our daily lives and how to create a safe environment and what that looks like, and be able to bond and create great long-lasting relationships. So life skills, big deal. And then you'll have Saturday and Sunday Gaspars facility, which, I think we did an okay job there. I would really love to see more and more of you getting to the Gaspars facility. My mind says everyone felt that it was lifting weights, and I don't want my kid at 10 lifting weights. That's farthest from the truth. Gaspars facility is really a microcosm to what's on the field. What's on the field comes from what's going on in Mrs. Gaspars facility. We're working on quick foot movements. We're going through ladders and putting our body in a position that is aligned straight, right? Instead of having our shoulders move forward. So we work on a lot of the small details. We don't do as much lifting weights. We're jumping rope, which is a cardio thing, working on faster feet and fast twitch muscle fibers. So there's a lot of learning and pushing and that goes on those Saturdays and Sundays. And I really encourage you guys to take more advantage of it. If you are on a plan that kind of has you just in the 2 days during the week, try to maybe miss one of those days and get to a weekend to see if you like it. And that was my thing. I always encourage people to come out. I think if we had 4 to 5 sessions, we should have had those filled up instantly with 14 people. With that being said, we will probably shorten how many of those workouts we have depending on the influx of numbers. So you may see 2 workouts on the weekend instead of a time slot of 4 or 5, with the ability to open up more or take some out as well, depending on who and how many are registered. Another thing that we're working on would be in the February, March, April, May months, we would love to have monthly scrimmages, right? A monthly scrimmage for us can look in a lot of different ways. Locally, we've been in contact with other local 7-on-7s, other local tackle teams about possible scrimmage, right? In any capacity, 7-on-7 or tackle, if that was something that we wanted to do as well. And what we would look to do is just practicing throughout the weeks and then getting to maybe the end of the month of all the things that we practice and go and run that on a 2 or 3 team jamboree, right? We would look to find those fields and of course let you parents and everyone know in advance, but that's something that we're looking at. 1 scrimmage really a month. Now, does that mean that we only have that 1 scrimmage and that's it? No, we could have one every week with the high school team, which the high school has a 9th grade team, which would come down and scrimmage our 7th and 8th graders to help give us a look. That can happen each week if we would like it to. But ultimately, this program is not fixated on winning a trophy. It is not fixated on how many tackles your kids get or how many touchdowns they get or how many offers they get. This is about the beginning steps of beginning a community, a family, a foundation. Your kids, when they go to high school, it's more competitive. It's less teaching. It's more about what do you know now that can help us right now. And if you don't know, we'll bring you back or bring you up to speed in the years to come. Some kids can come in 9th grade and never play or help their team to their juniors. We're looking to teach our kids and to have the verbiage, the language, the heart, the will, the ability, and to go out and be the best they can be and come in and help as freshmen. That's what we're looking to do. And there's also opportunity for when the high school goes in scrimmage, we'll bring any of our 7th or 8th graders that we feel have shown a lot of progress and have raised their game, and we can mix them in with the high school at a high school tournament. Yes, I said a high school tournament with your 7th grade kid playing against other juniors and seniors. That could happen. But we would never put a kid again in a position where they cannot be there or not there. We don't want kids to feel anxiety. We don't want kids to feel scared. We don't want kids to feel that they're in over their head. At this age, that is overwhelming. I've been there. So we would like to break it down. Let kids pick where they want to go, to an advanced side or a beginning learning side. If you're on the advanced side, we look to see how advanced you are and whether we can move you up or not. Okay, next thing, fields. Now we're looking to still work at Encinitas Community Park. Now we may move from the location we had normally been, maybe to the other side, to a different small patch of grass. Be willing and hopefully able to adjust at the last minute, as all of this pandemic has been kind of up in the air and we don't know which direction we'll go. If not, we'll definitely be communicating about beach runs, beach workouts, stair workouts. We also, like I said before, have rugby, who we're in contracts with about possibly partnering with them and using their fields with lights. Last thing on what's next is community service. I mean, this Stampede Elite is going to be bigger than just about football. It's going to be about personal development, giving back, and that starts in your community. Cleanups, serving the homeless, people who are less fortunate, maybe people who are just as fortunate. But we're going to find different ways to incorporate our brand into this community and into the city. And so I just wanted you parents to know that's what's coming. And this is going to be here to stay. You know, it's a work in progress. Nothing's perfect, but we're looking for great things in 2021. So what's different about Stampede Elite? My biggest thing that I think is different, I said it, touched on it a little bit. We're not after a trophy. We're not after seeing your kids go in and just bang their bodies and play and get the ball thrown to them and they make all these great plays. But we are into the development. We are into the development, and we had a great momentum. I felt great momentum with the guests that we brought. It brought a sense of intensity, a sense of purpose. It set the tone. And that's what we're looking to do with your younger kids. We're looking to inspire them. You know, this program is so much more about how we can teach them the skills that they are going to need when they're 20, 30, and 40 than it is about how we can go to Vegas and kick somebody's butt and bring back a trophy and, you know, do flips. You know, I think this is bigger than that. And so this program may not be for everyone, but that is where I feel that Stampede Elite is different. We're here to really see your child grow and develop through so many other things outside of sports, but supporting them through sports, doing it all in one big community. That's what this is. And one of our other things is I think we do what we say we're going to do. You know, we want to be upfront. We want to communicate. You know, we're always willing to take a call. We're always willing to work with others. We're open-minded. We're not rigid. And so those things I think really separate us. And so the last thing that I did want to touch on was our younger group. Now, we don't have a 5th, 6th, and 7th or 5th, 6th grade group. And we're looking to, you know, this is a new program. A lot of people have a lot of apprehension. It's a little different, might be a difficult time financially. Maybe you're working a lot more, cannot meet the times that we're at. We get it. I get it. I think the 5th and 6th grade is very important. And we're working to find coaches, or maybe you may be a coach who are interested in coming and being a part of something that's really great and giving wisdom. Coach Chad does a phenomenal job with those kids at those levels. I think they learn so much, and it is so great for the flag guys who may not have a lot of football tackle experience to come and learn the bare essentials over with Coach Chad, and we look to add to him as well. So that is something moving forward I feel that makes us different. We're always looking to reach back out and develop, sow seeds in our children so that they grow to be big, strong, loving, caring human beings. With that said, I've taken up 25 minutes of your time. This is my first time. I promise these things will get shorter. But I did want to say love, love, love. In 2021, with so many things that have happened in 2020, the greatest thing I can say is let's love one another. You know, show love by what you say, by what you do, by how you act, how you respond. Let's be accountable to that. Parents, you're phenomenal. We're so grateful for you to expose your kids to this. It is my goal. It is my dream to be able to create something that is so special that they'll never forget, the bonds that they'll create, the hard work and failing together will help create a sense of teamwork that will never be changed. They'll use it in marriage, they'll use it in business, they'll use it in friendship. And so all of these things really develops the human being. And that's what that I will want to say. Let's develop ourselves, stretch ourselves. I'm not a big video guy. I want to be in front of this, but hey, it's 2021. I'm looking to stretch myself as far as I can, and I do it with a community that's behind me. I'm so grateful, thankful again for all of you. Look forward to a phenomenal 2021. Any questions, please feel free. Reach out to me, 619-745-3230 or CoachGregTaylor@gmail.com. Stampede Elite. Let's go.